Hi everyone, welcome to Math Online. My name is Troy Minogue. I'll be your instructor for the course. My plan for this recording is to talk through all of the things that we would talk through on a day one in a face-to-face class. I am going to make this recording for both my 055 and 105 sections. I'll try to not make it too confusing. It should not be because the setup is basically the same. There's just going to be different chapters. So that's kind of my plan. So let's get rolling. First thing is you need to know how to get around on Blackboard. On the left-hand side here, you have all your links to the different resources. You've already been here. This is where you found this Start Here video. The syllabus. I'm going to go to the syllabus. Again, this is for the 105 course. 055, it looks very, very similar. I'm not going to talk through all of this stuff. Mainly talk through from here down. And then you should have, by the time we get through this, you should have a very good idea of how the course is set up. And you should have a very good idea of what is expected, what you need to turn in, what your grade looks like, and all that good stuff. So the first thing here is required text. Notice it's optional. Most people find that they do not need the textbook. I've had a few people order it right away at the very beginning of the semester, and then they end up never using it. I have had a few people order it later in the semester because they felt like they wanted a little bit more practice problems, or they wanted a little different explanation. I do have videos on every section, which we'll talk about later, but on the textbook, some of the positive things is the website does have some good resources. So if you decide you want the textbook, you can use the online version. I think it's $45. I haven't checked this year to see if it's gone up, but the last I checked, it was $45. So if you choose the online version, you do have access to all the web resources, all their website resources, which are good. There's some videos, there's more practice problems and so on. So that might be something that you find you want later or now. It's up to you. Again, it's about $45 for the online version. I think it's $88, again, last I looked, for the print copy. So there's the information for that first chapter. Chapters 1 through 7 is 055. Chapters 8 through 14 is the 105. But it's the same textbook. Okay. If you email me middle of the week, Monday through Friday, maybe not Friday afternoon, but Monday through Friday, if you email me, I'll get back to you the same day or the next day. I check my email fairly regularly, and I will reply very quickly. If you email me on the weekend, maybe not so quickly. It'll probably more like Monday morning for sure. But every once in a while, I'll check my email on the weekend and have time to give you a adequate response, especially if it's a lengthy question about how to do 2, 3, 4 problems. It might be Monday morning. It might even be Monday afternoon if, again, it requires a lengthy response. If it's just a quick yes, no, whatever, then I could reply on the weekend while I'm out doing whatever. Cruising down through this section, this first sentence, if you're not sure what's going on, if you read the syllabus, if you watch this Start Here recording and you get to a point where like, I have no idea what he's even talking about, email me, let me know. I'll try to clear things up. If you're cruising through the homework and you hit a topic that just makes no sense, email me. After you've looked at the recordings and you've tried, email me. This isn't correspondence. You're not on your own. Email me. If you can give me specific topics or a specific question that you're working on, maybe even take a picture of your notes or scan in your scratch paper that you're working on and shoot it to me. Excuse me. That definitely helps me pinpoint exactly where your mistakes are and where you're struggling. But again, the whole point is communication. If you're struggling, say something. Shoot me an email and I will, again, reply to you as fast as I can. Emails are definitely the best we're all super busy, especially summer session here. And it's hard to play phone tag. And just it's easier to send me work, to send samples of your work over email than it is trying to describe what the situation is that you're struggling with. This is mainly for university stuff, but I would take a second read through this. It's a lot of what I just talked about, things that you can expect from me. I'm going to shoot you emails quite often as announcements also. So there'll be an announcement that I send it as email form. If you are choosing to take your university email and link it to your personal, so it just sends it straight over to your personal, just be paying attention. If you haven't seen anything from me in a while or at all, then there's something wrong with that connection. The university and your personal email are not communicating, so you'll need to be checking the announcements. I will be sending stuff out a lot, so if I can't get through to your personal email, there's nothing else I can do. There's no other way to get a hold of you. So just realize if you're not hearing anything from me, then there's something wrong with your personal email, university email connection, and you'll have to start checking Blackboard for announcements. Class participation is what I just said right there. You being active, checking your announcements, checking your email, doing the assignments, keeping up on Blackboard, and all that good stuff. That's what online class participation looks like. Emailing me when you have questions and not just disappearing into the woodwork, because through online classes, I don't have you sitting in front of me where I can see the puzzled look on your face and etc. So it has to be you reaching out to me. That's what a class participation online looks like. Okay, let's jump into the nuts and bolts of the course. I'm going to jump over here, down to assignments. Notice the course is separated into 2 units. There's going to be a Unit 1 test and a Unit 2 test. It's not really a midterm and a final. It's just Unit 1's over the first 4 chapters. Unit 2 is over the second 3 chapters. Okay, so in 105, Unit 1 is chapters 8 through 11. In 055, it's chapters 1 through 4. Both situations, your first homework assignment is right here. I'm going to click on that. Notice all of the homework questions are typed out. You do not need the textbook. Some of these come from the textbook, but a lot of them I write myself just based upon what I want you to know. And again, it's from the topics from the textbook, but so sometimes they come from the textbook and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're things I've written. They're in multiple choice format. However, I would really try to not use your multiple choice testing skills you've learned over the last however many years you've been in school. I would try to do this as if there's no multiple choice options. Your test is a combination, more free response than multiple choice. So you need to get in the habit of just, okay, here's my problem, I'm going to work it out. I'm going to graph this and see what I get. And then I'll see which letter it matches up with. Try not to use your process of elimination multiple choice strategies. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the syllabus and run through that. So you can read through that. There's 1 assignment per chapter. There's about 30-ish, sometimes a little bit less, rarely more, but every once in a while per chapter. So if you're thinking of a typical chapter, there's like 6 sections in a textbook. So that's about 5 to 7 questions, 5 to 6 questions per section, per topic. Not a lot, but enough for you to know whether you've got it or not. Homework is for you. Yes, you get a grade on it, but homework is for you. Homework is where you see, did I get it or not? If you are getting help on every single homework question, not every assignment, but every single homework question, you can't do one of them by yourself. The test will not go good. So make sure as you're getting help, at some point in time, you get to the point where you can do them on your own. Okay, so that might require some extra practice problems. If you do all the homework and you needed a tutor on every single question, then shoot me an email and I'll send you some more practice questions so that you can have the opportunity to do them by yourself. If you are one of those people who get to the test and you say, I always blank when I get to the test, my suggestion is you do enough practice problems by yourself and getting them correctly where you're not going to blank. If you're always getting help, you're always watching my recordings to help you do the questions, that's great to start. But at some point in time, you have to get to the point where you can do them on your own. I do have a review for every unit. So as you go through the homework, if you needed help on some, then you have some more practice questions in the review you can use also. Okay, so hopefully that was clear. The homework is for you. So what's the right word? The goal, there we go. The goal of the homework is not to get all the questions right. I mean, it is, but that's not the whole purpose of homework. It's to see if you understand, do I know how to do the material? I can get 100% all the homework by having someone else do it for me if I really struggle. That wasn't the goal. Yeah, you got your point. But the homework or the test will not go well if you needed help or someone else did all your homework. Your tests are proctored, so you're on your own on the test. So at some point in time, you have to know how to do what you're doing. Okay, I think I've talked through that plenty. Somewhere down in here, each homework quiz, this big bold sentence, each homework quiz can be submitted twice. If homework really is for you, don't wait till Sunday night at midnight when homework is due to start your homework, or Sunday night at 11 o'clock. You're not making the most of the goal of homework. I would start Monday, maybe Tuesday, and I would do the homework problems. If you struggle, it's probably going to take you a couple hours to get through the homework problems, maybe even 2 or 3 hours. Rarely, sometimes, you're going to have a 2 or 3 hour chunk where you can set aside. But most of the time, if I know my life, it's a 45-minute to an hour chunk here and there. So it might take me a day or two to get through the homework. Then you can submit your homework. Once you submit your homework, then Blackboard grades it. And I know that sounds like it's being lazy, but it's over the last, what has it been, 17 years of doing this. For the first 10 or so, I graded all the homework, and it just was hard for students to get feedback quickly. If you do wait until the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and you submit your homework on Saturday afternoon, I'm probably not going to grade it until Monday sometime. Well, then you've lost the chance to submit it twice. Okay, so by doing multiple choice, it gives you immediate feedback where you can then go back in and you can redo whatever you missed and submit it again. Every homework assignment can be submitted twice. Use that to your advantage to help you not just get more points, but also to learn the material. Go back and really look at the ones you missed and see why you missed it and fix your mindset. Maybe it was just an addition error. Maybe it was a conceptual error and you really didn't understand what you're supposed to do. If you find that you can't understand a problem, you can't fix it, you could guess and get it right, but you don't know how to do it, then shoot me an email and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. Probably that day, maybe the next morning. Again, if you wait till Saturday, I can't do that. Try to get me an email by Wednesday, by Thursday, so that I can shoot you a reply, explain things, and you have a day or two to fix your homework and get it submitted again. The whole point is use your homework to truly learn how to do the problems. That'll go much better for the test and for understanding. Okay, I'm going to jump back here. Every chapter has a homework. So this is the first 4 chapters for 105. Okay, so you might be asking, wrong one, when are these things due? Cruise to the end of this syllabus, and here is your summer schedule for 105. They are the exact same due dates, different. Wow, I don't have the right numbers right there. This is, okay, here we go, a combination. So not on purpose, I got to fix this. So your chapters 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4055. 8, 9, 10, 11 is 4105. I didn't mean to do that. I got to fix these. But that helped for this recording. So your first homework assignment is due 1 week from now on May 25th for Chapter 8 or for Chapter 1, depending upon what course you're in. Sorry, I got a dry throat from talking so much. June 1st for Chapter 2 and Chapter 9 and so on. I went down here and I summarized everything, just due dates. Be aware of this. Remember Memorial Day, sitting right in here, June, what is it, 30th, June 29th, or sorry, May 29th, May 30th. Somewhere right in here is your Memorial Day. So just be aware of that when you're going to submit your homework for Chapter 9 or for Chapter 2. Okay, so here's your, I would print this. I'm a paper person. You don't have to, but just be aware, here's your due dates. Okay? All right. Homework. I think oh, sorry, no, I haven't. How do I submit this homework? So I've gone through, I've answered all these questions. Let's just say I think question 1 is A, question 2 is B, question 3 is C, and I need to now submit it. How do I do that? So I go here and I click on tests. I go down here, Chapter 8, homework quiz. It's not a quiz. That's just what Blackboard calls it. And I click begin, and it's just a bubble sheet. Question 1 I thought was A. Question 2 I thought was B. Question 3 I thought was C. And so on. I just start clicking all my answers and I fill in my bubbles. Okay, notice over here. It's worth 1 point and they have saved my answers. It's worth a point and they've saved my answers. Again, it's worth a point, not saved because I've got nothing clicked yet. Okay, so once I'm done, I just click save and submit. Don't click save and submit until you are done. If you just want to submit the first 6, enter the first 6 answers and then go back and finish, or the phone rings and you got to run away for a little bit, just come back and finish. It saved all your answers, right? It's saved. As soon as I click on it, watch for a second, and it goes to saved. You don't have to save it, automatically saves it. Okay, once you hit save and submit, it's going to say to me, are you sure you want to do this because you have all these blank? I'm going to say no because I don't want to. But once you submit, it's going to tell you how many points you got per question. They're worth 1 point. So if you got 0, you got it wrong. If you got 1, you got it right. So then you only have to go back and rework the ones you missed, but you still have to submit all of them all over again, but you already know the correct answers to the ones you got correct, which is why you should probably write these down as you submit them and not just do it like looking at your phone and then putting in the answer. You should write it down somewhere so you know the second time around what to type in for the correct answer for the correct problems. Okay, I hope I made sense on that one. Okay, so once you submit the homework, I'm gonna jump out of here because I don't want to be here. I submit my homework, I get my feedback, I fix the questions, I resubmit it, and move on to Chapter 9, and just repeat. Move on to Chapter 10, repeat, Chapter 11, repeat. What happens when we get to Chapter 11? Okay, at the end of Chapter 11, we have the Math Unit 1 test. Cruise here, get rid of that guy. Unit tests. You have 2 options to take your tests. They are proctored. The first option is to use one of the UAA testing branches. There's one down here. I'm at KPC. There's one down here at KPC. You have Matsu. You have Kodiak. You have all over the place. Okay. Take your test at a testing center is one option using pencil, paper, schedule a time, all that good stuff. If you want to take your test at a testing center, you do need to let me know so I can send them your test. If you want to take your test at Matsu and you've never told me, I have no idea to send one to Matsu. So just make sure you let me know that you want to use a testing center. Advantages of testing center, you can sit there and see the paper and pencil stuff in front of you. You don't have to test it off of a computer. I don't know. It's up to you. Some of you like that. I would like that, but I like the convenience of taking it online also. So you can decide if you want to use a testing center. If you think you might, let me know. I can always send a test, and then you don't use the testing center. So what if you don't use a testing center? The other option is this online software called HonorLock. It's super easy. We're just going to go here, and when it's time, oh, you can't see that right now, but you can see it on mine because right now it's hidden from you. You can click on Math 105 Test, Unit 1, or Math 055 Test, Unit 1. At that point in time, it's going to start walking you through how to use HonorLock. You don't have to go to any special sites. Just click on this and they'll walk you through. One thing you need to know. In order to use HonorLock, your browser has to be Google Chrome. If you don't want to download Google Chrome, then you need to use a testing center. That's the only option. Okay, so once you download Google Chrome, it will walk you through all the necessary steps. Your browsing windows have to be closed except for the one that you're using to take the test. So if I had a whole bunch of stuff open up here, I would need to close it. Okay, so one option is to use a testing center. One option is to use HonorLock. In order to use HonorLock, you need Google Chrome, and that's about it. A camera and a microphone, a camera and a microphone, and a good internet connection, which you need for the entire course. Some of the only problems people have had is not a good connection. If you don't have a good connection and it kicks you off, then your test is done. Okay, and I've had people contact me, and I go back in, I look, and I see, yep, they're on there for 10 seconds and kicked them off, or they're on there for 30 minutes and it kicked them off. The problem is at that point in time, test security. So you probably have to start it over, and I have two versions, so you'll start it over with a different test. Okay, then again, that's just for test security. So just try to have a good internet connection. If you know you don't have a good internet connection at your house, go somewhere where you do. Go to a library, go to a campus, go to a coffee shop where you can find some quiet space. You're going to have to show your surroundings, so just find a good spot that's secure, but hopefully it's your house and you can do it at home at any time of night. That's the next thing. HonorLock. Online, you can take it at 1 in the morning if you want to, but just have a good internet connection. Notice I'm going to jump down here to the syllabus, end of the syllabus. Unit 1 test starts on June 9th, and you have a 3-week testing window till June 29th. You have a 3-week testing window. You should be able to find a time, a day, an hour, 3 hours, whatever it's going to take you to take it, the test. You should be able to find time in that 3-week testing window to take the test. I'll say this, but I know people will, like half the class will. Please don't wait till June 29th to take your test. And even when I say that, there's going to be at least half of you that do that. Can you? Absolutely. But there will be, guaranteed, there will be 1 or 2 of you who will go to take your test on June 29th, and your computer will freeze, and you'll get kicked off, and you'll have to panic and email me, can I reset the test so you can take it on Monday, June 30th? That puts both of us in a very difficult spot. Okay, you have 3 weeks. Try to get it done before June 29th. If on June 28th you have a computer glitch and it kicks you off and your test is, you lost it, and you only got 7 of the 35 questions done, on June 29th, I can reset your test and you can take it inside the testing window. If you do that on June 29th at 10 o'clock at night and it's due at midnight, I'm kind of stuck. I can't do a whole lot to help you. So try to do it before June 29th. And again, I know some of you will end up waiting to the June 29th, but just try not to, for your sake, more than for my sake. It just causes a lot of stress when things don't go good. When things go good, no big deal. June 29th worked fine. But you can't plan for things that you can't plan for. And those always happen. All right. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. So here we got homework, cruise through your homework, get to the test. Tests must be proctored. You have a 3-week testing window. Tests take about an hour and a half, but you have a 2.5-hour time limit. Because some of you take a little bit longer, but I got to cut it up at some point in time. So you have a 2.5-hour time limit, but that should not be an issue. Every once in a while, I'll see that someone took 2.5 hours. Most of the time, it's about an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes for the test. Somewhere in here. You get 1 page of notes, both front and back. There we go, down here. You get a page of notes, both front and back. You can use a calculator. It cannot be phone or computer based. And scratch paper. If you go to a testing center, they have scratch paper for you. If you take a test online, just make sure you show your scratch paper is blank to the camera so I can see that you only have 1 page of notes and not 25 pages of notes. You have a 3-week testing window. If you are a slope worker, if you are a nurse, if you have any kind of schedule where sometimes you work a long time, 2-week shift, 3-week shift, 5-week shift, 6-week shift, just plan accordingly. I've been on the slope, I've been on a platform, meaning I've worked on a slope and worked on a platform for long periods of time. You can find a spot that is so-called quiet to take your test with a decent connection. Maybe not everywhere, but most places you can find a spot that has a decent to really good internet connection. So just plan accordingly. If you are on a place and you're on a remote site up on the slope and you know I don't have good internet connection, plan accordingly. Let me know before you head up for your 6-week shift that covers the entire testing window, and just let me know and we can work something out. Okay, but don't just miss the deadline and then try to make up for it later. A 0 on a test is not good. Kind of kills the grade. On the other hand, things do happen. You have it scheduled for Wednesday. You're all set to take it on Wednesday at a testing center or online, either one, and you get sick, your daughter gets sick, your husband gets sick, whatever, and you just you're stuck. You're taking care of somebody, or you yourself can't get out of bed. That happens. Let me know soon as you can. Sometimes there's a true emergency and you don't even have time to let me know. Just communicate with me at some point in time as soon as you can, and we'll work something out. Not being ready is not an emergency. It may feel like one, but it doesn't constitute an emergency. It needs to be a true, like, family emergency, medical emergency, gotten a wreck, something like that. Okay? All right. So I think we've hit all the homework, all the testing rules. I don't need to really say this, but once you start the test, you can't just get up and leave the room and go check your phone on how to do a problem and then come back. Once you start your test, you need to finish your test. Okay, I think all that's good. Here's your point value, 90, 80, 70, 60, typical scale, 400 points on 105, 500 points for 055. So here's your points needed for both those classes. A couple things. This one here only applies to people on the peninsula, unless you want to drive from Anchorage, which I don't think you do. This is the Math Lab hours. So here's a helpful resource if you have access to KPC. These are just some other helpful websites that might be good tutoring sessions or good tutor sites. Okay, I'm going to jump back here, make sure we've run through. Oh, I have not run through everything. Going over here to course content. Where'd it go? Course content. As I'm cruising through my homework, Unit 1 recordings. I have a recording made for every single topic in Unit 1. So in Math 105, these are your topics that we are hitting, and you can just click on them and watch this recording just like you're watching the Start Here recording. And I talk through, these are my videos, not somebody else's videos. I talk through every topic that you need to know for this particular topic. And I talk through every one of function notation. I talk through all of this and so on. In 055, it's divided into like sections 1 and 2, sections 2 and 3, and so on. But it's the same idea. I have videos for every single topic that you need to know. If you find that my recordings are not enough, meaning I go too fast, I don't give you enough examples, you watched it but you still don't get it, email me. I'm happy to make another recording that's a little bit longer, or just I'm building on something that I talked about in here. Try to be specific as where you need help on, so that I'm not remaking the whole entire video when you only needed a small chunk talked about. So I do not have a problem giving you additional help and making additional videos. It doesn't take that long to make a recording, and so I can whip one out, I don't know, 15 to an hour, depending upon what topic you have, which I don't have a problem doing that. Just let me know. So there's videos on everything. So just make sure you are checking these out, because they're not long, 28, 22, 10. So just depending on the topic, 12, they're not long to watch. If you watched every single one of them, I think you're only going to watch 2 hours of recordings. And if you picture a week long of going to online or going to face-to-face, that's about 2 hours of lecture. And these you can fast forward, you can slow me down, you can speed me up, you can delete me, not delete, you can stop me. I can't delete the recording, I hope. So anyways, give them a look. That's what's there for your help for doing the homework. For doing the tests, a lot of times people say, what can I study for the test? There's no way to study everything. You're just going to have to go back through and do everything. That's not fun. So I have a review worksheet made for every unit. Unit 1 review worksheet. These are just some additional graphing videos, but I have a review 1 worksheet. And I have a whole bunch of problems that you can work through from Unit 1. It is not every single homework problem. I've just narrowed it down to the ones you need to know for the test. It looks like a bunch. It is. I'm giving you some extra practice problems. On the test, you won't have all of these graphing problems. You'll probably have 2. You won't have, A through O on these simplifying problems. You'll probably have 4. But I'm just giving you plenty of practice problems so that you can get very comfortable and confident with your abilities. So you do the whole entire review. How do you know if you're correct? Jump back over here. Unit 1 review, answer key. Click on the answer key, and I show you all of my work on how I did the problem. What if that's not enough? You still are looking at the system of equation, you're like, what in the world are you doing? Go back over here, and I have a Unit 1 review recording where I talk through the worksheet. This one in 105 was so big I had to do it in 2 sections because it was an hour for the first and 30 minutes for the second one. YouTube doesn't, well, these are kind of old. When I first did these about 4 or 5 years ago, YouTube did not like, or maybe it was my upload speed, I don't know, didn't like more than an hour. So I cut them off when I got to about an hour. So I know that's not true now because people have 4-hour YouTube videos out there, but anyways, these are about an hour, hour and a half total, but I talk through every single problem, and you can watch the video just like you're listening to this video. Okay, so there's plenty of resources to help you know what's on the test and to help you know whether you're ready for the test. Okay, last thing is, I'm gonna go to tests. When you get done and you have watched this, start your recording, you feel like you got a good feel for the class, then just take the introduction quiz. Jump in here, and it's just to make sure that you've looked at the syllabus and that you and I are on the same page of what's expected. There are recorded lectures for everything, so I can listen to them as needed. That is true. And I just keep cruising through and I answer all the questions. Once you get done and you submit it, I give you all the answers. all the right and wrong answers. And I give you the correct answers so that you can go back in, retake the quiz, and click on all the right answers. And read the question to make sure you understand why you answered it wrong the first time and what the real answer should be. Okay, it is simply a way of making sure that you and I are both on the same page of what's going on in the course. All right, so that as we jump back here to the syllabus, wow, I get too many tabs open. The introduction quiz is due 1 week into the course. Remember, the summer course is only 10 weeks long, so there's a unit or a chapter every single week, except for that 3-week testing window. This recording's getting long. I can feel myself talking fast. Yep. All right. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what's going on in the course. If you have questions, please email me and we can try to clear them up. All right. Good luck and happy learning.